All right, guys, we are back. We have a 1998 Ford Econoline 350 5.4 VIN L. I'm just giving you the information. Some of you guys want that stuff. This truck is what I would call a mini problem vehicle. All right, it's a work vehicle for a construction company that's doing some work up the street here. I'm going to just give you the quick history here on the truck, what I know. They said the truck was running. They parked it. They went to start it the next day. It wouldn't start. I believe there's more to it than what I'm being told, but I have to go with what I see and what they tell me. So, long story short, I start making some tests on the truck. I try to hook up to it. I just want to do my preliminary stuff, and I have no communication. I have nothing. I go to one of my sensors. I check my 5-volt reference. I have 0. Okay, I have no 5-volt reference. I go to my injectors. I have no power at the injectors. So I get a diagram. I go to my ECM fuse, which is under the dashboard here. Fuse is blown. Put a fuse in it. Figure I'm going to find a short somewhere, something to that effect, a component or whatever is shorted, and the vehicle does not blow the fuse. So at that point, I started to go on with my normal diagnostic procedure to see if the truck runs and just go from there. I assumed wrong when I thought that the fuse being blown was the whole cause of this thing not running. Now what I'm thinking is they were tampering and they may have inadvertently blown that fuse. So long story short, I crank it. I now have, I have communication. I now have power to my injectors. I have 5-volt reference. I hook the scanner back up. I have no codes. Not surprised. Go to start it. Truck is extremely long crank. Starts to try to start. Chugs, shuts off. I get to obviously throw a fuel pressure gauge on here. Pump had been previously replaced on this truck about 2 or 3 years ago. It says made in China on it. In any case, I have 20 pounds of fuel pressure. Presuming that I have a bad fuel pressure regulator on this thing. Deadhead the pump, and I have basically zero increase, 1 PSI increase in pressure. There's no difference. Okay, so go to the pump, pull it out, inspect it, see nothing visual, replace the pump. I'm now up at about 24 PSI. Still no good. I deadhead the new pump. My fuel pressure regulator is bad, okay? This new pump, when I deadhead it, goes to 90 PSI. So I put a fuel pressure regulator in it and get my fuel pressure back in spec up at 35 PSI. I also changed the filter for you guys that are gonna ask me. Yes, I always put a filter in with a pump regardless. I do have 35 to 38 PSI now, which is in spec. Spec is 35 to 45 on these. You're usually gonna see around 38 in that range. In any case, I get the truck running, and the truck runs like crap. So I'm gonna take you with me, show you what we got. I'm gonna go into data. If I could get a good shot here of my data. I'm gonna pick some PIDs here, then I'll set you up in case you can't see it now. I want to go to DPFE. I want to go to, come on, long-term mass air and short-term fuel trims. All right, so hopefully you guys can see this. I am rich, extremely rich on this truck. Minus 15, minus 18, minus 6, minus 9. I'm all over the place. My mass air, this is a useless PID. Looking at it like that, that's a little better. Grams per second. We are at 14 grams per second on this truck. We are all over the place with the fuel trims now we're trying to correct. Take a look at something here. It's very, very important. Take a look at my DPFE, my delta pressure feedback EGR. 3.5 volts roughly, 3.2, whatever. That is no good. That is showing that the EGR is open, okay? That's showing the EGR is open. Now, before, I'm gonna shut this off. When you look at the grams per second on the mass air on this thing, extremely high. So our grams per second are reading high. Right now, I'm looking at that DPFE. I don't like that. Before I do anything, before I start testing mass airs and playing around with that stuff, I'm going right to that DPFE. I'm going right to the EGR valve. And I'll actually get you guys in here. This is my DPFE right here. I'm really hoping you could see that. This is your EGR tube from the exhaust, obviously. There's your EGR valve, okay? By the data that I'm getting, and by the way this truck is running, that EGR is stuck. And I'm gonna tell you this now. I tapped on that EGR, I disconnected the vacuum line here, and I tapped on that EGR valve, and there was no change. Nothing happened. So what I'm gonna show you is a quick way you can verify what's going on here. You take one of these guys, all right? This is a temperature gun, and I know what's wrong with the truck. I mean, I'm very, very sure of that, but I want to show you anyway. I'm gonna start it up. I'm gonna measure my EGR valve. If you could see that. Now, on the intake side where the valve is going through, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but I'm going right to the other side of that EGR tube with this thing running. I'm at 228 degrees. That is proving to me that EGR is flowing through there, okay? That DPFE is not skewed. What we have here is we have an EGR valve that is stuck open, and I can't even get it to close by banging on it with a hammer. So you tap on them, usually they'll close or they'll set. This thing is broke. So what I'm gonna do is, I think I'll shut the camera off, but I'm gonna pull the EGR valve off and I'm gonna show you something. All right guys, so I've got the tube broke loose. They're always fun on these. Taking the last bolt out now, the front bolt, which is for me the last bolt. I want to get this valve out of my face. I want to show you. Let's see if it's still hot. Yeah, it's still hot. Let me see if I can get under here without getting in your way. Oh, this thing's still hot. Okay. Oh, God. Fun. Fun times working on an E-Series. How hot is it? All right. Yeah, this thing is stuck. Stuck, broke. All right, let's do this. I just want to show you that we can verify what is going on here very, very easily, okay? What's the matter? There you go. All right, now, I have to put you down for a second. Actually, let me just do this. Let me just switch this around. I'll leave the PIDs up here like this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this special tool here, and I'm gonna block off my EGR. Yeah, the EGR's stuck. EGR's stuck. Look at that. What's going on here? Yeah, the EGR's beautiful. Needs an EGR valve. All right. And that should be the last problem. Yeah, it's broke. You hear that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it fell apart.